sing along with me. We are the Eagles on the road to victory. All for one and one for all, we'll answer to the call. We're the greatest team of all. No wonder is forever. We will always stick together. We will always do our best to see it through for the good old gold and blue. Then sing along with me. We are the Eagles on the road to victory. All for one and one for all, we'll answer to the call. We're the greatest team of all. No wonder is forever. We will always stick together. We will always do our best to see it through for the good old gold and blue.
Hoo-ah, 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 we are the Buffaloes. B-U-F-F-A-L-O-E-S, Buffaloes. You go home and get your scannies, I'll go home and get my mannies, and away we'll go. Oh, shuffle up the buffalo, shuffle up the buffalo. Oh, buffaloes never die, never die, never die. Oh, buffaloes never die, they simply fade away. How do you do, all your buffaloes, how do you do, how do you do? How do you do, all your buffaloes, how do you do, how do you do? It's the same old street refrain, let the buffaloes run the game. How do you do, all your buffaloes, how do you do? They all play a jolly good game of bally-boo. They all play a jolly good game of bally-boo. They all play a jolly good game, but buffaloes beat them all the same. Inky-pinky bally-boo. How do you do, all your buffaloes, how do you do? How do you do? How do you do, all your buffaloes, how do you do? How do you do? It's the same old street refrain, that's the buffaloes won the game. How do you do, all your buffaloes, how do you do? Oh, buffaloes never die, never die, never die. Oh, buffaloes never die, they simply fade away. They simply fade away. They simply fade away.
Good evening and welcome to the 2022-23 TIO NTFL Under 18 boys competition. It's round 7 action here from TIO Stadium. Darwin Buffaloes versus the Wanderers. I'm Wills Wah. With me tonight will be Stu Davis calling the game. Stu, we've got an interesting game on our hands. I think it might be bottom of the ladder Wanderers against 5th place Darwin Buffaloes. So, not as high a clash that we might expect, but I'm sure we're still in for a good game tonight.
Yeah, good evening, Will. Happy to be here and to see this game. And I've seen both of these sides once before at least, and I think they play a bit better than their ladder position suggests. But no doubt tonight a must-win game for both sides to really get their season going in the under-18 competition. But I've seen them both against St Mary's, who are a very strong side, and both had their moments and had the lead for some time. So it should be a terrific contest, I would think.
Got the coin toss in the middle, and it looks like Tyrese Raymond for the Buffaloes has won it. They'll be kicking to the right of the screen, and the Wanderers, was Preston Patrick in there doing the captain duties tonight, will be kicking to the left of screen. That's the Wanderers who will be kicking left. And we're just a minute or so away from this one.
Flags are absolutely still on the other side of the ground, and a bit of rain this afternoon, Will, but not much threat of it tonight, I don't think.
No, not too much threat of it. I think it also, not the rain per se, but the cloud coverage seemed to linger a bit, that you didn't have that steamy sauna type atmosphere that we can tend to have after a heavy rainfall here. So luckily it's not too hot and steamy out there for them. It will be interesting to see how they run out the match each side respectively.
Oh, the Darwin kids are pretty used to it and play a pretty hot brand of football anyway, so yeah, it'll be a really interesting contest, as we said before.
And the Buffaloes went down last week to the ladder leaders Palmerston. It was a lot closer than the final. I think it was about 25-point margin suggested. I'm sure they'll be hungry to get back on the winners list tonight. Really like the look of Raymond, who, as we saw, did the coin toss earlier today, and John also kicked a couple of really good goals from the forward line as well, so I'll be watching them closely. Wanderers, this is my first time seeing this under-18 side, Stu, so you might have a bit more of an insight than me.
Only a little bit, but yeah, I'm sure we'll get to it, get the names as we can, and already I've seen a problem because number 24 is doing the ruck work for Wanderers, and we don't have a 24 on our team sheet, so not a good start for us. But
we'll make do, Stu.
Of course we will, and it's Buffaloes with the first hit out, but Alan Johnston doing the sweeping work for Wanderers. Got the clearance down to half forward, a hook hand pass over the top. Johnston's in the action again, just pushes off an opponent, swings around on the right foot, keeps deep down towards full forward. The mark unable to be taken down there, and ball on the ground. Wanderers trying to work it through the hands to players in advantage, and the pressure's pretty hot at the moment, as you'd expect. First up in the game, and ball's just pinging around a bit on the ground. No one able to take clear possession as it works its way to the boundary line, but Buffaloes have worked this nicely along the half-back flank, and Kyle Doolan on the just drops it across the boot and gets it out here. It was Edward Roberts in fact, because Doolan's involved now, but the hand pass comes out, and now Wanderers the opportunity from the wing on the outer side of the ground to thump it back in towards full forward. Johnston uses his body well, but umpire says he infringed, and it's a Darwin free kick to Joshua Peacock.
Turns it over at half back, which is behind centre wing. That one to Tom Knight for the Wanderers. He goes further down. He spots a player forward in Antoine O'Connell. He now goes inboard to the lead of Patrick. Takes a mark in space. He's a long way from home, but he's got a few leads up forward. He goes for one. Just went over the head there of Aaron Forrester. He'll be swooped up there from Peter Kopp. Gets it inboard again. Got around it was Gannonbar. And the Buffs could be away here. Found a player there. I think that's Ed Roberts again at half forward, just forward to centre for them. Wanted to give it off. Option disappeared. So he's still looking forward now. Just a high kick to half forward. And Tyrese Raymond, he'll get into space, run onto it inside 50. Has a shot on goal. And he's happy with that one. So the first blood in this one goes to the Buffaloes. 1 goal, 6 they lead. The Wanderers yet to score. As we tick over the 2-minute mark in this one, Stu.
Yeah, just a bit of a slow build-up on the other side, and Wanderers were slow in pushing back, weren't they? They've still left plenty of space in the forward line for Buffs, and Tyrese Raymond is an experienced player. Used his body well to nudge his opponent out of the way. You see here on the replay, and then he had all the space behind him, ran onto it and kicked beautifully as he normally does. So the first score of the match to the Buffaloes, and after Wanderers had it in their forward line for quite a while early in the game, as no real advantage in the hit out that time, and now Buffs with the opportunity again, but the hand pass goes astray, and Johnston again on the end of the hand pass that time got the kick forward, not his best kick, and gives Buffs defenders the opportunity to tidy up, but it's paddled out now, and now through the hands the ball comes back and then inside again, and a long kick forward by Roberts, and claiming the mark down there was Orsto, but not paid, and play on's the call as running onto it now as Doolan tries to tap it to the advantage of his teammate, but Wanderers have managed to turn this one over and clear it to the outer side, and Alan Johnston busy early in the game, gets another touch. His kick misses the mark, however, and now Buffaloes with the opportunity out of defence, but just tried to take on a bit too much. Then was Robin Wesley and got caught with the ball, and in fact it's a sling tackle, so a bit fortunate there to get the free kick in the end, but he's used it pretty well to the advantage of his teammate down there in Kyle Doolan, and now Buffs go high in towards half forward. The ball slips over the back. Another opportunity with a shot on goal from Orsto. Vacant goal square down there. He might have just snuck this one in, has he?
He has. That's John Orsto. Second goal of the game to the Buffs, and they're out to a very early 12-point lead. And those two blokes I said were pretty good last week. They've started the game on fire again this week, Stu. And you're right. The Wanderers have sort of had a fair bit of the ball, probably almost more, but they just haven't been as clean. Meanwhile, the Buffs moving forward, it's just been pretty streamlined for them. They haven't necessarily hit every target, but like we saw with that first goal and that kick again into the middle, they just did enough so that the player on the end of it could run into space onto it, keep going, and the link was still there. So Buffs definitely playing the game on their terms at the moment. We'll see if the Wanderers can rebound. Umpire balls it up in the middle again. Another hit out there to Peacock for the Buffs, but a bit of a nothing contest. Wanderers could come and get away with it again through Patrick. No, it'll be the Buffs coming out. Here's to Raymond again. He's got two to get through. He does get through them. Hit out to the side. Now goes to a very short lead to Munkara. Ball popped out of his hand, so another short chip forward. Probably could have done more with that one there. Wanderers now on the rebound. Kicks it forward. Looks for Ed Roberts to take the mark. Kick inside 50. Doolan at the bottom of it. Couldn't take the mark. Now running through his Lee. He snaps towards the forward line, but only finds a Wanderers defender. They look now to exit their defensive 50. Patrick the target again. Looks like he's got a fair bit of influence over his teammates. They've gone to him a couple of times now. He goes down this wing. He finds Shannon Greenwood just on this near side here. Wanderers just not really... They're moving forward quick enough, but not really with any intent. No one's getting free, and as we can see, the Buffaloes, they turn it over. The pressure cooker's just too much for the Wanderers at the moment. Here comes Antoine O'Connell. He goes to half forward, and there's a player loose in O'Connell, Sebastian O'Connell. He now goes to the top of the centre square, kicks it to full forward. Hands went over the top. Wanderers player there in Oaks tries to roll around, but again, just good pressure from the Buffaloes, and they've done enough to earn themselves a free kick.
Yeah, another overzealous tackle with a bit of a slinging action, and they'll penalise that most times. Umpires in NTFL, as they should, and Buffaloes bring it away grandstand side, just ploughing into the back there of his opponent was Roses, but ploughing was the call as the ball spills free, and Buffaloes out in front now. Again, just hacked off the ground down towards the boundary line. It was Raymond once again, but couldn't keep it in play, and it beats him over the line as he chased down his own kick.
A lot of Eagles players around the contest there, Stu, but the Buffaloes just were a little bit cleaner. They use their pace, which, as it did there, can work, but if you run too far, you'll overcook it, and there would have been a bit of mayhem if they had. But here we go at half forward for the Buffs this time. A fist over the top and ball working forward again. Comes now Young through to Gannon Barr. He goes towards an open goal. Squealer bounce through. It's just touched over, and hit into the point post, so another behind. They come in now, the Wanderers do. Jaden Gilby the target.
Yeah, it was Moroney who took the kick in defence, and Wanderers just slowing things down a bit here. They need to start hitting some targets. Use of the body there by O'Connell again, and then runs onto it, taps it forward. And Buffalo's working hard in defence, getting to the ball first most of the time, as Antoine O'Connell again involved, but just saw it over the boundary line. So not much doubt, Will, that the two O'Connells are brothers of Bo O'Connell.
Exactly like him, don't they?
Yeah, they're both standing next to each other down there almost. So yeah, exciting players, and just need to get the ball in their hands a bit more as the boundary throw-in floats over the top, and no real advantage from that, as it's stuck at the feet of the pack of players around the ball. Reaching in and picking up for Wanderers was Possingham, but he got tackled as soon as he took possession. A quick kick forward by Patrick Rowe for Wanderers, sees the ball inside forward 50, and a one-on-one opportunity here. It's out in front there was Jaden Russell. He controlled it in the end, has a snapshot for goal. It looks like it's on target if it bounces nicely for him, and it does. It goes all the way through, and just what Wanderers needed. They had a really open forward line there with some one-on-one contests, and Jaden Russell did it well, found himself some space, hooked around the corner and kicked truly from about 35 out.
Just look at this on the replay here, Stu. He's held pretty tightly, and he's just athletic enough to create some space for himself. Sometimes as a forward, that's all you need to build some space, get rid of that opponent and that pressure immediately around you, and he had a pretty clean snap on goal and it went through. Back in the middle now, and Wanderers are keeping in touch here. It's probably definitely been on the Buffs' terms, but the Wanderers have had a fair bit of it themselves, and they can wriggle the game back onto their terms. Hit out in the middle, comes down. Buffaloes could get to it first. Here comes Patrick again, overruns it. Wanderers ruckman picks it up, he's chasing it. No one can take it cleanly, but the Buffs have gained the meterage. There's three of them around the ball now. Doolan hits the deck. Still edging forward, umpire pulls out a free kick for a high tackle, going the way for the Buffs. And it'll go the way of Tarkin Talon Roses. Kicks it into the man on the mark. He got very close there. It's hit him dead in the chest, and
yeah, then he's just dived over the top of him, so another free kick to Roses here.
Take two.
Roses looking at options, decides to set it up at the top of the goal square. Ball hits the ground. A quick snapshot for goal. Looks good. It is good, I think, as it's got away from everyone. It was Munkara that snapped that goal, got it through the hands of everyone somehow. And another goal for Darwin in this first quarter. Just look at the replay here as the sensible kick just to the top of the goal square. And yeah, beautiful clean hands down there by Munkara, and a true snapshot for goal. So the Buffs just stretch that lead out again as we get the scoreboard updated on the screen. There it is now. So a 13-point lead to Buffaloes about 11 minutes into this first quarter. 16-minute quarters, of course, in under-18s football in NTFL. So Wanderers with the clearance, and now another opportunity as the quick kick comes forward to Forrester. Over the back is the big fella Alan Johnston. Had a golden opportunity to goal there, but just a bit casual with the kick, I think, and kicked it into the goalpost. So not the result they were looking for, as Jack Buckler runs away from the defensive goal square and kicks in long to the outer side.
Big long kick.
Was a long kick, and it was to the advantage of his teammate. And now the opportunity for Buffs again on the outer wing, as ducking back inside as Robin Wesley gets himself some space, kicks to half forward, the ball slips out the back, and another opportunity down here for Orstow on the left foot, hooks it towards goal, but this time it's fading across the face of goal and bounces through for a behind.
Not a lot of defence tonight, Stu. There's a lot of free-flowing footy, a lot of attack, and it's just end-to-end at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I'm a little bit disappointed in Wanderers' defence. They just don't seem desperate enough defensively, and that's allowing Buffs the opportunity to get shots on goal. As this kick is kicked into open space here, or nicely controlled at half forward by Dylan Baker. He finds a teammate down here in Tupalura, and another nice pass. And this is better use of the ball for Wanderers, as Patrick Rowe has a free player, and he hits that player down there. It's Alan Johnston, I think, that's found himself in some space inside the forward 50, and he'll go back and take a set shot from about 35 metres out on about a 45-degree angle. Kicks on the way. I think he's dragged this one left. He has. So Johnston's had plenty of the ball, but I'd say his disposal efficiency isn't great at the moment. Just needs to tidy that up. Yeah,
particularly that last shot he had, it absolute sitter right in front. He's just sprayed it ill. That one was definitely gettable as well, but yeah, he should have at least one on the board. And O'Connell, he tried to get involved there and intercept the mark. Didn't quite work for them. Wanderers, if they're clean here, can have another attack forward. Goes from the bush inside. Running onto it now will be Baker. He kicks it to the top of the goal square. Buckler was just in better position. He crumbs it, kicks it out. It's not a bad kick to his teammate DeSantis. He couldn't take it cleanly. A big hit there from Johnston. He picks it up, snaps around, and another behind for the big fella. He's got 3. And Buffalo's still lead 3-2-20 to the Wanderers 1-3-9. Played on very quickly by Buckler from fullback. He now goes down that far side back flank. Looks towards Roberts. Long way from home. He passes it off now to Tyrese Turner. Kicks it further down that wing. The target, Xavier Lee, finds himself bum on the ground. Has to get a handball out from out there. Now with Tyrese Raymond, he gets around a couple, handballs it to his own advantage and runs onto it. Can't take it cleanly though. He's an excitement machine, young Raymond. Here he goes again, a short, sharp one, and he just threads the needle there to Orsto. Yeah, good football, but just fumbled initially. Orsto hands it off here, and the kick's smothered. So it's Wanderers with an opportunity to tidy up in defence, but again, just can't handle the ball cleanly, and gives the Buffalo's players the opportunity to put the pressure on, and eventually the ball finds its way over the boundary line in the left forward pocket for Darwin. So a dangerous stoppage area, and just over a minute to go in the quarter. An opportunity for Darwin, who've got it camped deep in their forward line as the thump goes forward, but Wanderers able to clear down towards the centre square, and a good mark taken in front by Patrick Rowe. Rowe has a look around, hasn't got too much to go to. Now he sees something that he likes, looks for Antoine O'Connell out here. He went for it with one hand. Fortunately, the ball got tapped back into his hands and managed to get the hand pass forward as Tupalura on the left foot kicks high towards half forward. Just jostling for position down there was Jesse Butcher, and actually made an impact and got it to his teammate. Once again, it's Johnston, finds himself in time and space, but again, his kick's off target, and that's 4 behinds in a row, I think, Johnston will. He has. He's kicked 4 behinds. That one a bit tougher, but he needs to be hitting the target. He's had a lot of the ball. He's played in the middle, played up forward, and had a fair bit of influence, but just can't hurt them where it counts. So Munkara on the end of this one, and now plays on around the player on the mark. Kicks long down the outer wing. Raymond with a huge leap from behind, just couldn't control it in the end, and running on in front was Diesel Cole for Wanderers, but the ball spills free again. Raymond paddles it forward, but no clean possession as the ball's caught up underneath now. An opportunity for Buffs with a quick kick forward, but this one will be chopped off in defence by Bill, and he kicks it back the way it came, where there's plenty of Buffalo's players, but fortunately for Wanderers, the siren sounds and denies Buffalo's an opportunity of another forward entry. But a pretty good start to the game. Just Wanderers need to be working a bit harder defensively, I think, Will. Absolutely. It's definitely start on the Buffalo's terms. They kicked the first 2 goals in a flash, and they've got 3 for the quarter. But Wanderers definitely worked themselves back into the game, first with that goal to Jaden Russell, and then 4 behinds to the big fella, Alan Johnston. He could have a couple more, and if he kicks straight, they might be feeling a bit more confident heading to the second quarter, but Buffalo's deserving of their 10-point lead. We'll be back after this short break.
Stadium. To the left of your radio they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game.
Thanks. Welcome back to the 2022-23 TIO NTFL Under-18 Boys Competition. It's round 7 action from TIO Stadium. The Darwin Buffaloes hold a 10-point lead over Wanderers. It's 3-2-20. Wanderers 1-4-10. I'm Wills Bar, with me is Stu Davis. And Stu, if one fella had kicked a bit straighter, it could be a different story.
Yeah, that's right. At stages in that first quarter, Buffaloes looked like they were going to storm away with the game, but Wanderers have come back pretty well and had a number of shots on goal, as you said, and Alan Johnston, unfortunately, 4 behinds in a row has just allowed Buffaloes to retain that lead. But the game's started again. Peacock doing the ruck work and then winning the clearance himself, thumps it forward, but it's punched out of defence back towards the centre of the ground. Just running onto it there was Ed Roberts, but couldn't control it initially. The quick kick forward gives Buffs another opportunity here, but this time strong defensive work from half-back by Braden Wright for Wanderers. Got the hand pass out, and now a bit of fancy footwork sees the ball out into some space, but again they're just tapping it around at the moment, but eventually picking it up was O'Connell, and he kicks long down towards half forward. The ball bounces past the pack of players there, gets to the back, but again it was just held up by the Buffaloes defence, and no one going in to claim possession. Eventually it's Tyrese Turner that does. He kicks on the left foot, but that's chopped off again, and now Patrick for Wanderers hooks around onto the right foot, kicks down towards the goal square. It bounces over the top of players down there and over the boundary line in the right forward pocket for a boundary throw in.
Very fast start. It almost seems like the ball's got Velcro attached to some of the players' hand. It just sort of bounces up and they pick it up that easily, and other times it's a bar of soap, just no one can get their hands on it. Here we go in now. Ball goes out over the back. Picking it up there was Patrick Rowe. Kick was smothered. Preston Patrick took the ball, but it wasn't a mark. Play on. O'Connell, he handballs it through a player's feet. Gets it to Patrick. Patrick's hands wayward. Kicked out of there by DeAndre Mawson. He finds Munkara. Munkara takes a bounce at half back. He's got 2 players to support him. Instead he goes long. Kick was offline. Now running through is Robin Wesley.
An air shot there going through.
Still in dispute. Gets her hands out now. Again, this is Tyrese Raymond. He kicked the first of the game. Classy kick from about 45. That kick inside 50 will find the Wanderers defender, and he goes out this side again to Preston Patrick. Kick beyond him. Paddled back to him by O'Connell. Might not have been the best option. It'll be Antoine O'Connell now picking it up, rolling to the top of the 50. Mark couldn't be taken there by Russell. He's got the Wanderers' solitary goal. Tries to paddle it again to his own advantage. A lot of paddling out there, Stu.
Yeah, that's right. Just not prepared to take possession. They're under pressure, I understand, but eventually you've got to get it in your hands and do something with it, as the clearing kick goes to a dangerous position at half forward, but first to the ball there was Roberts for Buffaloes. He uses his turn of speed to get past his opponent and then runs away down the centre of the ground and just checks the kick nicely to Raymond here, who looking to hand pass over the top, gets it back, and then with a quick fire hand pass back to Roberts gives Buffs the opportunity to go inside 50 again. It's a high kick in the air. The ball spills to the back, and an opportunity once again for Buffs. Another easy goal. Running into the open goal there was John Orstow, and Wanderers players got their hands to the ball but just couldn't control it again. It slipped over the back, and Orstow was in space and ran in for an easy goal in the end.
Great work in the middle there from Tyrese Raymond. Sometimes they almost look like they do just one too many handballs. Luckily for them, they do manage to keep control of it, and they keep the ball in front of them, so as they are sort of flooding forward, so too is the ball. If they lose clean possession, it's still going to be moving in that forward direction for them. Just seems like they're moving forward in surges at the moment, and it seems to be working. They edge out to a 16-point lead. Back in the middle of the ground, and our umpires tonight, we've got Kyan Evanson, Cypress Hill and Cooper Bayman. Doing a great work out there. Ball comes up. Good strong whack from Josh Peacock there. It's no one in particular. Wanderers will get to it first, so there's a free kick going their way. It'll go to Antoine O'Connell. Plays on. Doesn't have a lot to go to, so he takes a second bounce in the middle of the ground. A bullet, an inaccurate one, into the forward pocket, is swept by Mawson. He's under pressure, but gets the hands out there very well to Tyrese Turner. He stops at half-back. He kicks it into the middle of the ground to Munkara. He moves as well. Goes out to that far wing. Whistle's blown, but umpire lets it go. And another mark this time to Doolan. He hands it off again to Munkara. About 65 out from goal. Kicks it deep into the pocket. Very long kick. Ball spills over the back and over the boundary line.
Yeah, that one, no damage for Wanderers as the ball came over the back, but you just see that the Buffalo's players, and Orsto in particular, just positions himself pretty cleverly right at the back of the pack there, waiting for that one to slip over, which resulted in a goal a few minutes ago. But they've got it in a dangerous position here, deep in the forward line as the boundary throw-in comes in. It's tapped forward and a quick kick out of the pack there towards goal. It's gone straight across the face for a behind only though. So retrieving the ball down there is Diesel Cole. There's one straight behind the goals that he could have got, but took his time there, and now the chip pass into the pocket finds Sebastian O'Connell deep in the back pocket for Wanderers at the Michael Long centre end of the ground as he looks to bring the ball around the grandstand side, but the only one interested in going for the mark there was Orsto for Buffaloes, and he took it on the chest in the end. Now he's called to play on and chips the ball in with the left foot, but again this one's chopped off by O'Connell once again in defence, but there's a free kick been found, and I think it's Cole who's got the free kick. He hand passes off to Antoine O'Connell, and O'Connell runs the ball out of defence and kicks long down the wing. Mark spilled off the chest there, but recovered well, but the kick's going straight down the throat of...
Not a good kick, Stu. He had a player on there and he's just bombed a high ball in.
Yeah, didn't look, did he? Didn't lift the eyes, and that's a good pass to Munkara, who's getting busy in the game now, finding himself in some space. Has a bounce and then kicks long inside forward, 50 from the marking contest. The ball spills out and Orsto's lurking there again, ducks one way, back the other on the outside of the boot, but this time he's just pulled it back too far. So some clever work again down there by Orsto, made himself some space where there didn't look to be any, and only a behind this time.
So Patrick, he'll be doing the kicking in. He's been everywhere as well for the Wanderers. Long kick out of the defensive 50. Didn't find a player. They might have a few here. Running onto it is DeBush. He gets it to O'Connell. Kicks it long. Now running to it will be Jaden Russell, their solitary goal kicker. He's got plenty of space. He needs to take it clean. He gets inside 50. Gets around his teammate, but the bounce did not help him at all, and it's bounced over the boundary line. He doesn't look happy with himself, and another opportunity gone missing for them.
Yeah, just lost control of it, bouncing the ball there, unfortunately, and but it's a stoppage in the forward line, so an opportunity, and the dangerous Alan Johnston hanging down there. Looks like he's going to do the ruck work this time, and recovers himself, runs onto it on the outside of the boot this time. Maybe that's the answer. He needs to kick him that way, Will, on the outside of the boot, but he's got the goal this time. Did it all by himself, and this time it was probably Buffalo's defence that were pretty lax in getting to where the ball was. They were all about 5 metres away from the action, and Johnston did it well in the end, so a deserved goal for the big fella.
Great work. He just edged his racking opponent forward there and was able to pick up the crumbs himself, roll through and on the check side through the big sticks. Great work from the big fella. Keeps
him in touch, only 2 goals in it, and yeah, so it's Buffaloes that have missed a couple of opportunities this quarter, but yeah, certainly anyone's game still as we hit the 8.5 minute mark of the second quarter. Peacock still doing the ruck work for Buffs. He's been pretty manful all day as Posselman gets a quick kick forward and finds a teammate, and now Wanderers an opportunity as DeBush gets the kick inside 50 down towards the forward pocket. The ball's close to the boundary line, but it's kept in, and that was Buckler down there. He got caught but managed to get the boot onto his ball and dribble it forward, but again there's plenty of pressure on the Buffalo's defenders. There's a free kick been found here. It's going to be a Wanderers free kick for incorrect disposal, and it's Michael DeBush who'll take the free kick right on the boundary line in the right forward pocket.
Very tight angle. Need his kicking boots on here, but looks like he's going for it. He runs around to the top of the goal square. He finds a player by himself, but he couldn't take the mark. Don't think Diesel Cole was prepared for that one. He gets it through his opponent's legs. Johnson lurking. Cole still with the ball at his fingertips. Now it pops out, and Buffs could get away with it here. They do. Ed Roberts, he just paddles it along, gets it back now, gets through a couple, uses his pace, takes one bounce, and they're outside 50. Kicks it long down to the wing. He's got Kyle Doolan in enough space. He plays on too, works it forward to Orsto, all by himself at centre half forward. He plays on now, centres it, and he finds Tarkin Talon Roses, who looks to go back and set himself up. He's looking possibly to give it up or for another option. No, I think he'll go back and get into his kicking routine. Raymond wanted it. Roses goes in, not a great kick off the boot. Still alive in the goal square though. What can the Buffs do? Is that Wesley? I think it is. He snapped one around the corner and gets it through. Robin Wesley extends the lead again. It's 5-4-34. Buffalo's leading the Wanderers 2-4-16. An 18-point lead. Yeah,
and almost a 12-point turnaround, wasn't it, Will? The opportunity deep in the forward line for Wanderers. The mark was spilt, and then it was the busy Ed Roberts that I like the way that he's taken the game on tonight, using his pace. He knows he's faster than most players out there, and he's using that pace to just break away and drive Buffs forward. But they took it one end of the ground to the other, and eventually a goal there for Wesley, and Buffalo stretched that lead out to 3 goals again.
Yeah, he's got pace, Roberts does, and he's able to use it to weave in and out of the contest, and he's done it a couple of times tonight. Back to the play, and Preston Patrick with a big strong clearance for the Wanderers, kicks it forward. Running onto it again is Jaden Russell. He kicks it to the top of the goal square. Diesel Cole just outbodied there by Bucklow. Does very well at full back for them. Now coming away from it is Tyrese Turner. It takes a couple of bounces, and he's in a paddock of space he's made for himself. He's got O'Connell to get past at half back. He does. Kicks it down to Doolan and Raymond. Bounces beyond Doolan. But Raymond runs onto it now. He gets to 50. He's tackled. He's run down. Umpire says he got boot to ball. And now it's the Wanderers under pursuit in their back line. Now they get out of there. They find Possingham at half back. Moves very quickly. Probably could have stopped and slowed. This might work out for them. A handball comes through. Now back out to Butcher, Jesse Butcher. He goes out to Patrick. Patrick in the centre square. Throws it. Not a bad barrel into the forward pocket. Couldn't be marked there again by Baker. He paddles it to his own advantage, runs onto it, gets around another opponent. Hands it back now to Johnson. Johnson, he prefers a snap, and that's a lovely looking kick there around the corner. His second for the quarter. He's got 2-4 and again reduces the margin. So we're goal for goal here, Stu. Yeah,
it's an entertaining footy, isn't it? The ball's pinging around, moving pretty quickly, and yeah, another quality finish this time. He's found the target in this quarter, that's for sure. But some clever work down there, as you said, by Jaden Russell, and then gave it off to Johnston, who had some space and took his time, measured it, and around the corner put it through. So, as you said, goal for goal in this second quarter, and that's fine for Wanderers to keep them in the game, but they'll have to string a couple together to make a real impression on the scoreboard.
So just under 3 minutes left in this half, and it's a 12-point game. Ball goes up in the middle. Orsto, he's lurking, moved into the middle in the guts for his gut running. Gets a quick handball out. Wasn't really to the favour of Talon Roses. He was made to work for it in the row. He's now sweeping up, rolls around, touches the ball on the ground. Now kicks it to centre half forward. Another big long kick. Butcher the target. Bounces over them, but he'll be able to run onto it. He's tackled instantly, gets their hands out. Cole, he's down there. And Butcher, he was pinged for holding the ball, so just didn't quite do enough to get rid of it. And Buffaloes have had a very tight defence, much tighter than their opposition tonight, Stu.
Yeah, they have. They're a bit better organised defensively, that's for sure. But still only the 2-goal margin, as we said, and Wanderers getting enough of the ball to give themselves a chance, as this time there's no real attempt being made, I don't think, to get rid of that one. That's the way the umpire's seen it. And I don't think Antoine O'Connell realised it was his free kick initially, but he's happy to take it in the end, as he'll be kicking from the front edge of the centre square. He sees something, lights, kicks forward, and what he likes down there is big Alan Johnston, who the ball gets to in the end, but he just couldn't control it, and terrific defensive work once again by Tyrese Turner. Uses the hands to Buckler, and Buffs get the ball out to half back. It's paddled forward out there by Wesley, but lost control of it in the end, and the ball's over the boundary line for another throw in. So just over a minute to go in the second quarter. Wanderers have it in their attacking half of the field as we await the boundary throw in. So O'Connell doing the ruck work. Ball goes to the front of the pack where it can't be taken cleanly, but O'Connell comes back in, runs onto it now, runs past a player, hooks towards goal, but he's hit that one into the goalpost, unfortunately for Wanderers. So would have been a valuable goal just before half time, but they're looking lively down there.
Absolutely, he's belted that one into the post. It's still just wobbling back and forth a little bit. Buckler, he'll be doing the kick out by the look of things. He's had a pretty good night at fullback and good week last week as well. He's seems to be a bit of a general back there. That kick not really to his teammates' advantage, but they wrap up Patrick. A big, strong double teaming tackle. Umpire calls for my ball. Buffs think they've got the free. Not to be the case.
Yeah, I think Preston Patrick thought it was a Buffs free as well. But, that'll be the end of the action, I would think, for
Bateman with the hit out, and the siren beats them all to it. So at half-time here, Stu, it's the Darwin Buffaloes still with an 11-point lead. 5 goals, 4-34, leading the Wanderers. 2 goals, 5-23. We'll be back after this half-time break.
Brings it all the way around, and they're happy with it, and he's got his second. Has a chance to send the Eagles into attack, and he does.
Well done.
Picks out his cousin Stephen. Got a goal. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I back him. Beautiful conditions. Hit it like a plum.
Oh.
Thank you, Stevie. That's Wanderers first.
That is a leader's goal.
By himself, Doyle, he drops it. He's got attention there from Drake Thompson. That's holding the ball. Well done.
It was all over him.
So Thompson needs to go left goal post. It has. That's a magnificent kick. That was a fair roost. Ball comes down there to Dawson. Geez, how do you escape out of that? Well done. Coming through hard there. I think that was Briscoe as well.
Hands was Newman. Hurried kick, it's going to bounce. Silver's the Yusuf is the danger. Silver Yusuf gets it on the first bounce, steps, turns, balks, runs, goals, puts it down, and then as he goes,
well done.
That is a candidate for goal of the year.
We'll go take 2.
Yeah, just interesting. Marlon Motlop just having a bit of a discussion there with Alex Harvey. See Arena. Pint versus the Wanderers as Thomas shot. Guides that through on his right foot.
Beautiful kick.
Players, it's out loose. Silver Yusuf's in there, spins straight into trouble, gets picked up and legged for his help. Then it comes out to shot, right foot snap, has put it through, and Pints open up a gap of 10 points.
He lost there by Dawson, handball's wide, kick out in front of the muck bench there. The Pints players first there. Manages to escape the tackle. I think that's Trotter or Dawson. Goes with a penetrating left foot kick in. And that's a great goal from out there. That's Trotter. Well done. He's kicked his third.
All over the top. Can they get it? No. Loose. Silver Yusuf from 40 directly in front. Lines up and puts it through.
Well done. Jeez, he's a good player. He's fired today. That's
just looking the goods. Carter has just dominated 27. The Andrew Jones, that is. And as they go forward again, that's a great lead and mark. And that's Trotter.
This?
As Trotter comes in and sets it up, and it's pretty good. It's going to go through. And he gets his 6th right on the siren. So Pint finished this game 13 goals, 583 to the Eagles, 5 goals, 636.
That's down the ground. Beautiful pick up there from John O'Farah. He goes inboard. Travis Varco, the target. He's all by himself. He'll run into an open goal. He takes one bounce. This is the way he likes it, Travis Varco. And he kicks the first of the game for the Palmerston Magpies. He'll take it and go. He gets to 50. He kicks. Very cheeky kick inside the corridor. Ham's good to get a fist in there. Stokes will pick it up again. He'll have another opportunity. Gets through, dances around, rolls onto his left, snaps towards goal. It's gone through. What a goal from the captain. Jared Stokes opens the goal scoring account for the Darwin Buffaloes. And that picks it up. He does have a bit of space, makes a bit for himself. Kicks it to a 2-on-1. Not sure about that, but it bounces out the back. In there was Adam Parry. Ball bounces towards goal. Has that gone through? I think it has.
Wow.
Screen, sorry, I should say, is the kicking end. Kick forward now. Goes from Treacy. Good strong mark there from Willie Farah. He just bounced up, took the mark and bounced down, hit the deck hard. Him, as you can see in the foreground there. Klahisi instead goes inside 50. Gibson can't take the mark. Rolls through though. Here comes Offermans. Offermans to Varco. Varco on his left, snaps towards goal. And the Magpies have 2 in a row. Yeah, another Stokes gets their hands over the top to Palmer. Palmer will keep running. Sorry, that's Cooper. Now comes in. Armand Watkins finds himself back up forward, kicks towards goal, and that's gone through. Centre half back to centre half forward. Ball through. Farah threw the ball onto the boot. Got it forward 30, close to the boundary line. Good work there from Proctor to just read it. He goes inside 50 now. There's an open goal square. He goes towards it. That could bounce through. It does. So the Magpies put momentum back on them. And just works it forward. Could have done a bit better. Jetta tackled. Ping for holding the ball. Great offensive pressure. And it'll be the captain, Jared Stokes, line.
Chesty comes in on the siren as it sounds. Jared Stokes. That's a beautiful kick. And that's a great goal.
Look at the Buffs come around him. They're all getting up and excited. Kicks it straight into Tanner Coulthard. Coulthard with the grabber along the ground to Palmer. Palmer to Robinson. Robinson snaps around the corner. Over the umpire's head. He didn't move. And he points to the crowd. Man jump there. That one nearly got him an Oscar. Stokes, he takes it, hands it up. Varco, though, he runs around, snaps it on his right. He's very happy with that one. And the Pies put 8 points between them and the Buffs. Guthrie's lurking as well. Pendlebury took it. Welcome back to TIO Stadium. It's the 2022-23 TIO NTFL Under 18 Boys Competition. Round 7 action, and at half-time here it's the Darwin Buffaloes holding an 11-point lead over the Wanderers, 5-4-34 to 3-5-23. I'm Will Zwar. With me is Stu Davis. And Stu, it's been a pretty interesting game. A lot of free-flowing offensive footy. Not great defence in particular from the Wanderers, but still could go either way at this stage.
Yeah, 11 points at half-time. You'd take that, I think, if you were Wanderers, and they've shown enough to show that they can do some damage going forward if they can get their shots on goal, which, of course, Alan Johnston did in that second quarter. He missed a few in the first quarter, got their only 2 goals in the second quarter, and they're right in this game. And you look at Buffaloes and you think that they maybe got a couple of classy players, but the competition's right there, and the game's up for grabs. So it'd be interesting to see who comes out firing in this third quarter as Wanderers get the first clearance, and just off the side of the boot there from Knight as Wanderers work it down towards half forward. He tackled with the ball there was Roberts. It spilled out. Play on's the call, and now the quick hand pass forward, and Buffs paddling it forward. They've got it back to the wing on the grandstand side of the ground. Reaching in there and picking it up was Preston Patrick for Wanderers. He got swamped with it, and umpire says he'll ball it up just in front of the interchange gates. So Jack Smith doing the ruck work for Wanderers there, but Buffs win the clearance as the quick kick forward by Coop gets its way to Munkara, who just forces it forward a bit more. He's still in the action, paddling it forward. O'Connell's in there. He gets tackled, gets his hand pass backwards, but pressure from the Buffaloes forwards sees the ball locked in there inside their forward 50 and gives them an opportunity. But again, it's just getting paddled around on the ground and no one able to take clean possessions. It slips out. It's worked its way all the way to the goal square. It's gone about 100 metres down the ground without anyone kicking it well. But eventually out of bounds in the left forward pocket.
Buffs have been good at that, just gaining a fair bit of yardage without really doing a lot, paddling it forward, moving with pace. And again, as you said, they've done it there and almost turned it into a scoring opportunity. Ball up now, hit out comes, Orsto couldn't take it. Instead, Bilby for the Wanderers. He's been pretty good in defence tonight, Bilby. Still no one yet to take it. Running through there was Lee. He'll pick it up now. Hits the deck though, can't take it cleanly, and umpire's called for a free kick going the way of Munkara.
Yeah, that ball would be pretty slippery, Will. I was down at the ground at half time and players are drenched in sweat and there's, as we said before, there's absolutely no breeze whatsoever, so yeah, it'll be getting pretty slippery pretty quickly, I would think.
Munkara walking in now. Tries to improve the angle. That one has gone straight through. And it's a goal. So the first this second half has come after 2.5 minutes, and he puts the lead out to 17 points. The Buffaloes now 6-4-40, leading the Wanderers 3-5-23.
Yeah, it was a good finish, wasn't it? Good set shot at goal. Just took plenty of time, opened the angle a little bit for himself, but yeah, kick on line. He liked it straight away. So that's not the goal that Wanderers were looking for. Obviously, they as Darwin just stretched that lead out now to almost 3 goals, and they've been able to do that for most of the game. Just hold Wanderers at arm's length a bit. So just waiting for the restart here, and it's Smith against Peacock. Peacock wins the hit out, but O'Connell read it well at the back of the pack. Looks to duck back onto his right foot and got it down forward of centre. The hand pass went back, but just a bit of a lazy attempt to take possession of the ball there, and it slipped through and gives Buffs the opportunity again. A good hand pass finds Peacock. That was Munkara to Peacock, and Peacock kicks long inside forward 50. The ball slips over the back, and the Wanderers defenders trying to keep it in play. They've done it pretty well down there, worked it back to defensive 50. Oh, a heavy clash of bodies down there as play goes on, and now outside of defensive 50, a kick under pressure from Donald Moroney there, just put him off balance, and his kick floated over the boundary line on the full.
Good tackle there, just swiveled him off his line, and he's kicked it straight out of bounds a few degrees straighter, and it probably would have just bounced inside. So good pressure on the ball there from the Buffs. They've again kept the ball in the danger zone. Good kick there from Raymond forward. He's found DeSantis. Raymond will try and get it back. Tried to work the 50 as well by shoving Knight into the protected zone, but the umpire's buying none of it. So DeSantis, he'll kick it inside 50, and there he is. He pops up again.
See, Knight had done pretty well to stop him receiving the hand pass, hadn't he? But Raymond just kept going and going, and yeah, he's got some class about him, and worked hard to get on the end of that one, Will.
Absolutely, he has, and just wheeled back around, never out of the contest, Raymond. He keeps running. That kick's not bad. He's very happy with it.
Yeah, a bit of left to right on it, but knew exactly what he was doing. So it's Darwin that have come out all guns firing in this third quarter with the first 2 goals of the quarter, and yeah, it's the pressure's on Wanderers now to start getting possession of the ball and hitting the scoreboard. Otherwise, they'll find themselves out of the contest pretty quickly.
Raymond joins his teammates Munkara and Orsto as multiple goal kickers, and Wanderers player Alan Johnson as well. So those 4 players have 2 each. Singles go to Robin Wesley and Jaden Russell.
So Jack Smith with the jumper change at half time, so that we know who he is now, is doing the ruck work. He wins this hit out, but an opportunity down there is it's picked up by Patrick. His hand pass didn't go to advantage, but he swoops back out on himself and kicks long down towards half forward. Oh, some clever defensive work once again down there by Tyrese Turner, who's been good down back for Darwin. Got the hand pass across here to Ganambar. Ganambar kicks forward of centre here and follows up, and now an opportunity again for Darwin through Roberts. Kicks long to the goal square. It's punched backwards by the Wanderers defence. It was Braden Wright that time, and knocked it over for a minor score.
Wanderers now to come out from full back. Just an easy one to Antoine O'Connell. He's got to
Been
play
good tonight, Will.
He has. One of the better ones in gold and blue. That kick though not great. Orsto probably should have marked it. He'll crumb, he'll have another crack. Wanderers though, they sweep on it through Moroney. A big high ball to a 1-on-1 in the middle of the ground. What a good one-handed mark there. Comes out now to the bush. He goes back. That one-handed mark, I think, was to Butcher, who's been a decent presence at centre-half forward for them without really having a huge impact. They'll keep going to him, but Buckler, he now turns it back the other way, and here comes Raymond. He's got one to get around in O'Connor. He does with ease. Inside 50 now. Plenty of time, plenty of space at Chip. Can't quite get it to Orsto's. Ball still alive and snapped around there. Good goal from Xavier Lee off the back of the work from Tyrese Raymond.
Yeah, good unselfish play there. Saw the player in space. Although the mark wasn't taken, it was to Buffalo's advantage, and they had the numbers and the presence of mind to make it work, and so they've opened the quarter with the first 3 goals.
Moroney copped a big hit there. He's just come off the ground looking a bit ginger. He hit the deck and he stayed there for a while. He's just taking a few big ones. I think he might have copped a bad winding, Stu, but looks okay, so he should be out there soon enough after a bit of a break. Buffaloes, as you said, they're now out to it's a 30-point lead, and this game's starting to blow out.
So Peacock still doing the ruck work for Buffs. This time up against Possingham. Peacock gets his hand to it, not totally effective. Raymond runs onto it, and he's got the ball in front of him now. He picks up, takes possession, has a bounce, kicks inside forward 50, close to the boundary line. Play on's the call as the ball spills to the front, and now Wanderers with the opportunity. The umpire had his whistle to his mouth, but decided against as the jumper was pulled there of Bilby, but floated over the boundary line. It's a boundary throw in.
So it's all been Buffs this quarter. Wanderers need something to get the ball down the other end and just have a bit of spark in this game. Patrick, he could be the man to do it. Preston Patrick now out of centre half back. Kicks it into the middle of the ground. Running onto it will be Patrick Rowe. He takes the mark. Did very well to get to the fall of it. Was very short. He's got a few players out this side. He'll come to them. DeBush is one. He's got a runner if he wants him. Forrester probably not in the right position, but DeBush will keep going. And he now goes to Butcher. Couldn't take the mark. Running onto it was Forrester. He kept going. Still alive, but Wanderers want to make sure of this one. The opportunities have been few and far between. Butcher, he's working it. Forrester again tries to get it out. Now away through Karma goes the Buffs. And a good kick, he finds Tyrese Raymond. And that's what's been missing from the Wanderers game, just the ability to pick out a teammate and slow the game down, get it back onto their terms. Great kick inside the corridor from Raymond. Finds his target beautifully, and another fantastic kick there to Roberts. So 2 great long kicks in a row from the Buffs, and they've turned a 4-8 forward from the Wanderers into a shot on goal for them.
Yeah, you're spot on, Will. Buffs are hitting their targets as they go forward, where Wanderers are just thumping it really and hoping that a player can get on the end of it, and the Buffaloes' defence are tidying it up pretty easily, really.
So walking in now is Roberts. He's had a very good game off half back and through the middle. That one not quite at the distance. Wanderers will come out of fullback again. It's not clean. Possingham dropped it. Got boot to ball eventually. Munkara, he runs onto it. Snaps on the left. Beats all the players, but they're just the wrong side of the post, and it's a behind. Margin now to 31.
Let off there for Wanderers. Got some space here, but the kicks very high. Oh, nicely marked down there by Antoine O'Connell, who's head and shoulders Wanderers' best player tonight, I think, as he kicks along the wing. He is thumped inboard by DeBush to the advantage of some running players down there, but again can't control the ball, and Darwin defence standing strong, and the kick comes forward. Running onto it down here is Saylor for Darwin, but he's outnumbered eventually, and Possingham runs away, has something that was something of a bounce but lost control, and eventually the kick off the ground lands in the hands of Manolis, who again finds a player in some space in the middle of the ground, and that player again is Ed Roberts, who has a couple of bounces and ducks around the player running towards him inside 50, kicks long towards goal, but just offline to the left here.
He was just going a bit quick there. He's going at bullet-like speed and probably should have slowed down a bit on the kick, but I'm sure he'll have plenty more opportunities tonight. Now the Wanderers again come out. O'Connell, he finds it just behind the wing, a quick chip over the top, probably not the kick to go for there. He turns it over to Colmanolis.
That's a good mark, actually, a good intercept mark down there. He had the big fella Butcher coming at him, and yeah, stood strong, took a nice mark.
Umpire tells him to move on. Spots a player in the middle of the ground in Tyrese Turner. He moves forward now, kicks it inside, and he finds Munkara. Great mark there, exactly where you want it, about 35 out directly in front.
Yeah, the Darwin Buffalo's quality players really coming to the fore now, aren't they? You see William Munkara here, he's been involved heavily in this quarter, and Tyrese Turner off of the back line, and of course every time Ed Roberts gets into some space with the ball, it's exciting to watch. So Munkara, well, it looks like he's dragged this one as well, so just missing some opportunities now, but they have scored the only 3 goals of the quarter down.
It's been very slim pickings for the Wanderers. Don't even know if I think they've gotten the ball inside 50 once in this quarter. Maroney wasn't happy with that, so he goes back to Patrick. Patrick's told to play on that, wasn't 15 metres either. Goes across goal, they'll work it out that far side now. Now to Thomas Knight. Didn't take it cleanly, he's put under pressure, kicks it in the middle of the ground, turns it over to Tom Barry. Barry, just a quick one over the top again. His teammate keeps going. Good intercept there from the Wanderers. Now they're running out of half back, but turned over, and they're not working together when they're outnumbering their opponents. Give away a free kick there. Didn't give it off to Raymond. Kicks it to centre half forward. Mark there from Colmanolis. He's working his way into the game. He goes into that dangerous position. Great intercept mark there to the Wanderers from behind.
Yes, Jaden Bilby did well there, and now looking to switch the ball to the outer side of the ground, where he's got Maroney. Maroney plays on around the wing. Mark's spilled out there, and it was Thomas Knight who put himself under pressure by spilling that mark, but still manages to get it forward. O'Connell with a chip kick forward finds Patrick Rowe. Rowe plays on straight away and chips into the pocket. That's a bit of build-up by Wanderers. They hit some targets going forward, and Aaron Foster got on the end of it in the end, even though he is deep in that right forward pocket. Not the easiest shot at goal, but no breeze to contend with, so he's going back to take the set shot now, kicking from about 25 metres. He chips it towards the goal line. I don't think that's made the distance, as players got hands to the ball as it went through, so yeah, disappointing kick in the end, as bringing out of defence is Buckler again. He loves to run with the ball out of that goal square, and finds a teammate here in Colmanolis, I think it is.
From there, yeah, that was completely the wrong kick. He either should have had a shot much greater than that, and with more power behind it, or look for a genuine target and a bit of space. Not on the goal line or in the goal square. It's always going to be spoiled from there. Orsto, he now takes it in the middle of the ground. He plays on and rolls onto his left, kicks it to centre half forward. He finds his man there in Tarkin Talon Roses, now into the forward pocket deep. Good strong mark there, running back with the flight.
But you're just seeing that build-up. Buffalo's had loose players everywhere, and the foot skills were good enough to hit those targets, and Wanderers just not working hard enough defensively, as we've been saying all night, unfortunately.
So Will Munkara, he'll be lining up for goal number 3. He's on a very tight angle, probably kicking from about 45, I'd say, by the time Boot hits the ball. Not a bad kick. Not a bad kick at all, but it's just faded to the near side.
It looked like it was coming back, didn't it? But, yeah.
Very close. They extend their lead now out to 34 points, and that's 3/4 time. So the Buffaloes have just about run away with this one. It's 8-9-57, leading the Wanderers 3-6-24. Our goal scorers for Darwin are Tyrese Raymond, Will Munkara and John Orstow with 2 each, and single to DeAndre Mawson. Goals also for the Wanderers, 2 to Alan Johnson and 1 for Jaden Russell. We'll be back after this 3/4 time break.
Stadium. To the left of your radio they go.
Wow, what a goal to start the game.
Beautiful. Goes for home and has nailed an absolute ripstorter. From the pocket, and he's kicked an absolute ripper.
Welcome back to the final quarter here at TIO Stadium of the 2022-23 TIO NTFL Under-18 Boys Round 7 clash between Darwin Buffaloes and the Wanderers. The Buffaloes leading 8-9-57 to the Wanderers 3-6-24. And it's a 33-point margin here, Stu Davis. Who have you seen as some of the better players tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. It's Buffaloes that have flexed their muscles in that third quarter, but for them, obviously, Tyrese Raymond is a class player, and really like the game of Edward Roberts, who is an excitement machine when the ball gets out in space. But down back, Jack Buckler's been pretty good, and so has Tyrese Turner for Buffs, and Josh Peacock in the ruck has battled all night. But for Wanderers, I think Antoine O'Connell is far and away their best player. Patrick Rowe's been pretty good, and of course Alan Johnston's had a fair bit of the ball and a couple of goals.
One other player I'd add to that list, Preston Patrick, has been pretty good for the Wanderers as well. Yep. But right on cue, here comes O'Connell, trying to get the first hit out, or the first disposal of this final quarter. He's wrapped up in a tackle, umpire calls play on, ball spills out, and away go the Buffs through Roberts, who for me has been best on ground. He goes to centre half forward. Mark wasn't taken. Here comes Patrick. He gets a hands out now, this time to Moroney. Moroney just kicks it long down the wing to no one in particular. And there's a Buffs player running to it. His opponent is decramping in the middle of the ground. So Peacock had a few to beat. Wanderers did well to press the ball over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in the middle of the ground on the wing, or the middle distance of the ground on the wing, I should say. Just in front of the Wanderers bench. Hit out goes to Smith. Good bump on the ball there from O'Connell. It's Sebastian O'Connell. He gets a kick forward, only as far as a Buffaloes defender, and another snap forward for him. Moroney couldn't take the mark. He'll get up and go. It's run down by Munkara. Cole, he tried to get it through. A few to beat was Peacock. Now comes out through Cop. Cop goes into the middle of the ground, running onto it will be Robin Wesley. He's already got one tonight. He's an excitement machine. There's plenty of space. Just a laser beam into that forward pocket. Beats them all. It's rolling towards the boundary line. Soccer off the ground, just the wrong side of the post. And Buffs hit the scoreboard for the first time in this quarter.
So Wanderers looking to move the ball quickly out of defence. They've got some players on the outer side of the ground if it can get to them, but they just weren't close enough to the ball, and it was picked off by Peter Kopp, who just drills the ball inside forward 50 and hits up Robin Wesley just inside the forward 50. I suspect the distance might trouble him here as he takes some time, has a look around. There's not much movement in front of him, so he's just going to have to lob this one in. And he goes the barrel, in fact, and gee, he's got onto that. Well, I stand corrected. He knew exactly what he's doing. It's a huge barrel and easily cleared the line. What a fantastic goal from right on the 50-metre line.
Great kick, and as you said, we don't see them much. Bring back the barrel, I say. Love to see that in footy, particularly at under-18s level. They're still raw and looking for that next level, and that's definitely caught the eye of a few tonight, I'd say.
It's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by our policy, we're here to help with the reasonable cost of toll, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Just a quick ad from the stadium sponsor, Will, but unexpected, but play goes on as Smith wins the hit out, but it's Buffaloes again reading it best and running out of the centre square as Roberts again runs inside 50, has a bounce, kicks long towards goal, looks pretty good. I think he snuck that one inside the left-hand goal post, and it's all one-way traffic at the moment, Will.
Deserved a goal, Roberts did. He's had a fantastic night, as I said. He's probably been best on ground for me, just edges ahead of Tyrese Raymond. I think Raymond's probably been a bit more exciting and arguably had a bit more impact, but Roberts has been in it from the start to finish, and he'll keep going. Well deserving, as I said, of that goal, and a great goal, just classy running from the middle, inside 50, created space for himself again and straight through the middle. He liked it as soon as it came off the boot.
Yeah, Wanderers have really gone missing in this second half. They've only got the one behind on the scoreboard for the half, and Buffaloes have kicked away with 3 goals in the third quarter and 2 so far in this quarter. And Roberts again running onto this one in the centre square. This time he chips it towards the top of the goal square. Ball's hooked out over the back. It's free in the goal square now. I think that might have just ricocheted off a couple of players, and eventually it's rushed through for a behind for Darwin, as Wanderers again looking to move the ball quickly. Getting on the end of this time is Alan Johnston. This time takes the mark at half back. Plays on.
He went missing in that last quarter, Johnston did.
Yeah, he did, with plenty of teammates as well, but he was one that they were looking for to keep him in the game, obviously, but unfortunately for Wanderers didn't happen. And we've got a boundary throw in here just forward of centre at towards the airport end of the ground, and Ruck's trying to get themselves into position here. Ball works over the back, and now Buffs looking to run the ball forward, but just couldn't get it out quickly. A quick hand pass forward there by Possingham, but in fact it was Doolan, but a free kick's been found going Darwin's way. It's Tyrese Raymond who will take that free kick, and now he's looking at what he's got. A beautiful pass inside forward 50. Once again finds Wesley, who's got Roberts, I think it is, in space on the outer side of the ground. He just trots off, has a bounce, and then chips the ball inside forward 50. Musto spilled it off the chest, but recovers well, swings around on that left foot, kicks long towards goal, easy as you like, straight through the middle. So spilt the mark in the first place, but that didn't worry him. He was had the awareness to recover and just ran around players like they were standing still. Will.
Yeah, great work there. He sold a bit of candy as if to go back to Roberts, and you don't blame the defenders for falling for it, because Roberts has been on fire, but also he's pretty classy. He's got a lot of X factor about him and can kick them from anywhere, as we saw last week and tonight. Just ran around onto his left, and that one's never going to trouble a player like him.
So pretty impressive performance by Darwin, particularly in the second half, and as I said from the outset, that both teams were looking to give their season a bit of a kick along, and Darwin is certainly doing that tonight.
They've already kicked 3 goals in this final quarter. Preston, Patrick try to get to it, but Tyrese Raymond, he's got pace to burn. He just turns around there, keeps going, a quick kick into Mankara. He's got another runner, but he'll give it back to Raymond, who kept running as well. He gets around the defender now, on the paint of 50, kicks towards the goal square, flying over the top. I think it might have been Cutter.
But just standing at the foot of the pack there was Xavier Lee, and an opportunist goal once again. The ball just spilled in his lap basically, and the Wanderers players are starting to look really tired now.
It's just too easy for them, and as we saw, I mean, Tyrese Raymond is a pretty impressive player anyway, but just there I think it was Bilby who's been one of the better defenders tonight. He just stopped, and it wasn't any issue for Raymond at all, and you're right, they're just stopping. They're getting a bit tired out there, the Wanderers.
So a couple of goals now for Xavier Lee, just lurking around that goal square, finds himself in the right place at the right time, and yeah, that one was pretty easy in the end. And as I said, the Wanderers defenders particularly looking pretty tired right now, and all they can hope to do from here is just stop the bleeding a bit and get some possession of the ball as Smith reaches over the top, gets the tap forward, and running onto it there was Patrick, who kicks long inside forward 50. Here's an opportunity for Wanderers now, as hooking round the corner there was Wright, gets it down towards the forward pocket. Quick hands down there by Patrick Rowe, but unfortunately it's fumbled over the boundary line, and another boundary throw in. But it is deep in the Wanderers forward line, so they'll be looking to make something of this.
Could be an opportunity for a late cheer. They haven't had a lot since half time. In fact, they haven't had any. Hit out there goes to Russell. He kicked there first of the night. They're just not quick enough to it, and the Buffaloes, as they have all night, just use their pressure to edge it forward. They could be on here. Socket forward by Knight. Picked up now to Possingham. Possingham gets her hands out. Wasn't clean there to Baker. Baker ball's tapped down. Running onto it's O'Connell.
Oh.
Just the wrong side of the post.
Yeah, just rushed it a bit there, which is understandable, but didn't have any elevation and dragged it to the left, so only a behind as Buckler, as he's done all night, just runs away from that defensive goal square and gets the ball outside defensive 50. Mankara spills the mark on this occasion, which is unusual from what we've seen tonight, but still in there working hard for the ball. There's plenty of pressure on players with the ball. A quick kick forward by Forrester, and he's found a teammate here, and that's Smith, who plays on now, kicks down towards full forward, and the kick was well placed and nicely marked about 20 metres out directly in front, and I think you'll find that that's Braden Wright has taken that mark, and he'll go back and has a real opportunity to put on Wanderers' first goal for the second half. So comes in now, kicks on the way, goal umpire doesn't move too much, that's straight through for a goal, and that's an encouraging one for Wanderers. They've battled pretty hard, just been a little bit outclassed in the end, but a consolation goal, but they're all nice to get at the end of the night.
Got a goal on the board here, Stu. You just hope that that's not it for them and they drop their heads and the Buffs go bang, bang, bang again, which, looking at the amount of tired bodies out there, they could well do. You hope that the Wanderers have a bit of character about them and they'll try and keep the Buffs scoreless from here on in.
Yeah, well, a goal always gives you some encouragement, doesn't it? And so they'll be back in there trying to win first possession out of the centre here, as they've got some of their big guns in the middle. And from the ball up, ball falls into the hands here of Patrick. He just fumbles initially, then gets a quick hands out, but it's Buffaloes who win the clearance and get it down towards half forward, working hard out of defence down there. Wanderers just bringing it along the boundary line. I think he might have got boot to that, did he? And
a couple of players just
shove, but
getting involved with each other there.
Yeah, so it was good defensive work by Aaron Forrester, bringing it out of defence, but unfortunately just I think he got it off the shin in the end and over the boundary line on the full. So it's Raymond who chips short around the boundary line, and that's going to go close to the boundary line, and Tommy Lee Ellis it just floated it over, unfortunately for Darwin, and Jaden Bilby will take the free kick. He tries to go a barrel, wobbles it forward down to the wing, but it's worked out for them as the ball comes across by hand to Johnston. He finds some space but then kicks it into the player directly in front of him. He follows up now, picks up, pushes off the tackler and kicks high towards half forward. There's a number of Wanderers players there, but again the mark's spilt. Kick around the corner, but good defensive work by Buckler again for Darwin, and that's a pretty dangerous hit in the middle of the back once the mark was taken. I think should be a 50-metre penalty, and
calling out his card as well. It'll be reported, I think.
Yes, it's a yellow card. I think he'll be off the ground. That was
just a silly
just a little bit unnecessary.
He knew he was going to be late and he just kept going and just hit him like a freight train.
Yeah, it can be pretty dangerous when you're not expecting them like that. So anyway, it's Kyle Doolan who was on the end of that. He looks fine. He's coming in to take his free kick, so happy about that, as he looks to chip short and but the mark was spilt there by Tom Barry. He picks up and hooks it round. The ball's inside forward 50 now. Quick hand pass by Orstow up in the air, really to no one's advantage, and again there's plenty of bodies over the ball as they try to work it into some space, and eventually Orstow took possession, but his kick was smothered, and again it's a bit of a pack that's roaming across half forward there. No one able to take clean possession and clear it out of there, as again there's players over the ball. Eventually Raymond, I think it is, picks it up, kicks long towards goal. It's going right to the goal line, claiming it was touched down there, but I think it's floated over. I think the goal umpire is pretty happy that that one's cleared the line, and that's the way it's been called. So goal umpire Peter Buckland down there was pretty confident and just See here it is Raymond who picked it up, and that's a pretty good finish as Maroney came in, got his hands to it, but he was over the line, unfortunately, for Wanderers.
Raymond, as we mentioned before, he's been one of the best players of the game today. Even in a losing side last week, he was probably one of the best on ground as well. So he's got a bright future ahead of him, Raymond, and 3 goals tonight is a very good return.
So that's 5 in the final quarter for Darwin. They've really put the pedal to the floor, and 8 goals to 1 in the second half has been pretty dominant for them, as it's Patrick Rose worked hard all night, and Preston Patrick as well, as the kick comes forward, but Mankara just getting behind this one, takes the intercept mark, and he's got a free player out wide, just chips it out here to Ezra Higlett. He goes short, but just gave that a bit too much air and allowed the Wanderers defence in Bilby to come across and get hands to it, and eventually force it over for a boundary throw-in.
Just counting down the seconds in this one. Less than a minute to go. Ball's thrown in just in front of the Buffaloes bench. Beats all ruckman. Bilby out the back. Tries to work it forward. Good smother there from Forrester. Wanderers this time working forward. Patrick has been very good. Jumper was just tugged onto, so he got the hands out. Maroney tried to put on a smother. Couldn't make it work. Ball now moves up to centre half forward. Raymond, he paddles it forward to himself. Now kicks it to his own advantage. He's got to play to get it through to if he can. Just picks it up, he oozes class. Now kicks it inside 50, looking for a late one. Beats his lead. Comes back now. Tom Barry, he's looking most likely. Can't pick it up though. In their forward pocket, the Buffs. And that's all she wrote. Darwin Buffaloes have won this one 13-11-89 to the Wanderers 4-7-31. 58-point winning margin to the Buffaloes, and probably a relatively accurate margin based on the way the Wanderers fell out in that second half. Stu, as we mentioned, I think it's 8 goals to 1 after half time. It's just not good enough, and the Wanderers ran out of legs, and Buffaloes made advantage of it.
Yeah, we thought we had a contest at half time, didn't we, Will? But Buffaloes just really powered on in the second half, and they were pretty impressive. And as I said, I saw them the other week against St Mary's, and they jumped St Mary's actually in the first quarter, kicked 5 of the first 6 or 7 goals, and got pegged back on that occasion. But they were impressive tonight, and they've got some good players all over the ground, and they stood up, and good all-round team performance from Darwin tonight.
Just looking at our goal scorers tonight, Tyrese Raymond, he kicked 3, as did John Orstow for the Buffaloes. 2 goals each to Will Mankara, Xavier Lee and Robin Wesley, and single goal to Ed Roberts. Meanwhile, for the Wanderers, it was Alan Johnston who kicked 2 goals after 4 behinds in the first quarter. Meanwhile, singles went to Jaden Russell. He kicked their first of the night, and Braden Wright with the consolation goal. I do think it ended up being the last goal of the game, Stu. So that second half, the final quarter, Wanderers did a bit to put up a defence, but just wasn't to be their night. They're still winless in this under-18s competition this season. Meanwhile, Buffaloes seemingly still in the hunt at this stage, but have a bit of ground to make up. Their win-loss record now at 2-3.
Yeah, that's right. They're a good enough side to pressure some of the sides above them on the table, and their season's certainly a long way from over, and they're an exciting team to watch, so I look forward to seeing them again.
We'll leave you there tonight. It's been a great evening as always here at TIO Stadium. We'll again run you through the scores. 13-11-89, the Darwin Buffaloes have won by 59 points against the Wanderers, 58 points against the Wanderers, 4 goals, 7-31. We look forward to bringing the footy next weekend.